Legal Fund, PayPal, Cash App. Am I just crazy? That's how book covers work.
Let's get into it. Mark Laita is a professional photographer turned YouTuber who grew up in Detroit and Chicago before starting photography studios in Los Angeles.
I'm actually
and New
really
York
glad
in the
I'm
80s.
watching it.
He's mostly known for his work on the
I just don't
iconic
feel like
iMac launch photos
anyone
and for his
critiques
YouTube channel,
her.
Soft White Underbelly. He was reportedly Apple's highest paid photographer at the height of his career, when he apparently turned his attention to a passion project, photographing and interviewing people in the so-called soft white underbelly of American society. Today, his YouTube channel, Soft White Underbelly, has a subscriber count of nearly 5 million.
Do I think Soft White Underbelly is exploitive? Yeah. But like it's literally like insightful, I guess. I don't know. It gives like people voices. My thing is the people go there and they like say, hey, this is what I'm going to be discussing. But whatever. Like, it's not like he's like, hey, so you're blah, blah, blah. Actually, I'm not there in the studio, but neither is she.
Of their lives on camera. Many of them discuss traumas and turmoils going all the way back to their childhood, sexual abuse, the foster care system, homelessness, and parental figures struck.
Aren't those important things to have a discussion about or actually see up close and not just like hear about or read about?
Yeah, I'm a photographer. The name of the project is Create Equal. I'm trying to show how, we're all really the same. If you really peel off all the stuff we've picked up from our careers and from our environment and our upbringing and all that stuff, basically we're all, we all boil down to being the same thing. I've been doing it since '99, so it's been about 7 years now. Paired up in these images.
Oh, so he's been doing this. He's been doing this as like art or whatever.
And they feel like, wow, somebody's really finally respecting me. They're not all the exact same formula. Some of them are very simple and basic, and the connections that are...
Wow, so it's like he didn't just find a niche and start like... I don't know, I can't even get all my words together. It's just like he didn't just jump into this. Like, oh, YouTube's a thing. I'm going to go to Skid Row and make a bunch of money. It's like, this clearly was like an interest of his, so...
Who are very superficial. They see outrageousness of a pedophile with a little trick-or-treater girl. You can almost like somewhat mix them up and pair them differently, and they still kind of work.
He was a very well-established commercial photographer. Mark would publish his very first coffee table style picture book. It would be called Created Equal. So basically it just kind of looks like Mark made a picture book based on the series of photographs that he had already taken for his gallery exhibit called Created Equal. Interestingly, the book was published on Halloween Day. It is such a remarkable coincidence that major
I cannot.
events in Mark's life, including his product launches, just seem to occur on already established holidays.
Hey, BJ, that's the literal only holiday. And I love that. Like, a bunch of people love Halloween because there is no pressure to gift give.
A used copy of Created Equal seems to sell for at least $1,000 on eBay. The images explore social, economic, and gender difference and similarity. Within the United States, from 2001 to 2009, he was working on this project. That is a long time to be taking pictures of people. And I just want to point out, some of the pictures that he did take in connection with this Created Equal project were the Whitakers, where Mark so fondly refers to them as America's most inbred family or something.
He's from Alabama.
Yeah, he's like, help them with their bills and shit, dude.
Like the most incest family. I mean, something very derogatory. I'm quoting him. We'll put it up here. But it's like, he's been working with them since maybe as early as 2001.
I photographed you, right? You remember? Years ago.
At least
Again, treats them, okay, can I just be so fucking for real? Like, everything I've seen as far as the Whittakers and him interacting with them has been totally, like, humanizing. I understand it's being recorded. I can see the issue.
based on the circumstantial evidence alone, I'm inclined to believe that the book remains to be in very, very high demand. So the book, Created Equal, comes out in 2009. Fast forward 2 years, now we're in 2011, and Mark Laita would publish his second book. This book depicted animals from the sea and featured Mark's usual black background, bright contrast lighting, and saturated colors. The description in the Sea book does attempt to entice the readers with flowery language, but it kind of just says like Mark is really good at taking pictures, and these pictures in this book are pretty. But from what I can tell, it doesn't really seem like this second book about the sea creatures really hit off like that first one did. So on eBay, Created Equal does have a handful of listings, and all of them are more than $900. But for the sea creature book, there's one copy available on eBay, and you can buy it for just under
So
$200.
people have flops. Can I just get... People have flops. You can explore something. You can explore a creative endeavor.
So a far cry from that $1,000
For
mark.
fuck's sake. So he found something that worked, right? Like a niche, if you will. What is your channel? Like, do you, like, this is all like Ariana Grande, Kanye, all these famous people. You're not going to start playing, I don't know, Animal Crossing. You have found your little niche and you're sticking to it. And there's nothing wrong with that if you have found success in it. Just don't act like someone having a flop and returning to their niche or whatever they're good at or whatever they found success in is somehow inherently, like, I don't know, mischievous.
The sea book and the snake book is... The snake book got pictures of snakes, and the sea book got pictures of things from underneath the sea. That's about it. It's kind of a commentary on human psychology. Again, I'm not a professional art critic, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. Mark seems to have taken a page from his first, and from what I can tell, more successful book, Created Equal, by including some social commentary. He appeared for several kind of high-profile interviews in his marketing of the snake book, and his statements do give some insight. So in a 2013 interview, which is like
we're
the same
ramping
year
up
that the
to
snake
where
book came out,
he's,
Mark
you know,
elaborated on
evil.
why he chose snakes as the subject matter of this picture book.
Because they're creepy.
They're like, so why snakes then? And this is his answer. Attraction and repulsion. And he goes on to say their beauty heightens the danger amplifies the beauty. So again, Mark seems to be trying to play on these sort of primal fears and tropes, including extreme dichotomies to sell a product. I mean, listen,
Can it not just be something someone's interested in?
the man was a commercial photographer for decades. If anyone knows these tricks, it would be him.
It ended up being 28,000. It wound up being 28,000. And then there was some soothsayers sitting at home on their couches and their armchairs watching the interview and saying there are things here that don't add up. And then I believe it was the
What the hell is this from? Source?
Washington Post got involved, and some others have written about this, that it was then questionable about your motivations.
According to an expose published by the Washington
Okay.
Post, Mark met Kelly through Kelly's then boyfriend on Christmas Eve in 2019. Mark
1 second. Oh, legal fund, PayPal, Cash App, merch. Okay, I literally opened it up thinking there would be, like some sources, but I guess not.
Kelly said that then boyfriend told her it would be like a free therapy session that she would also get paid for. Kelly says she believed that talking to Mark was going to help her because she really needed to get out how she was feeling. I'm not even going to repeat what she said, but it was very sad and very dark. One thing I do feel compelled to mention is that Kelly accused her mother, in coordination with at least 2 of Kelly's foster fathers,
I'm,
of
she
a certain
said,
type
I'm
of
not going to
abuse.
say
The
what
Washington
happened, but I'm
Post
going to
would
tell
investigate
you.
into Kelly's mother's criminal record, and they did find that the mother was indeed charged and convicted with child abuse more than once. Once in 2002, which led to a 1-year prison sentence, and again in 2004, which led to a 6-year prison sentence, of which Kelly's mother would only actually serve 1 year. Now, this specific allegation was important to me to mention because another soft white underbelly subject around that exact time, Amanda Rabb, would accuse her own parent of exactly the same type of abuse.
What are the chances that people who end up abusing drugs or, substances or, like, it's a product of being abused themselves. Like, what are the chances that childhood trauma can make people, I don't know, try and cope in, like, really unhealthy ways? This is an unheard of thing. There are no studies behind it, and you're certainly not going to find it in BJ Investigates, like, description
On soft white underbelly.
or anywhere in this video.
Well, after the filming wrapped for Kelly's interview that took place in December 2019, she says she cried and she felt numb. But she also says she didn't expect much else to come from the interview.
You totally
She did
left
it for
out the...
herself to get things off her chest, and she was paid for her time, and she intended to go about her life.
You totally left out the part where she did say she felt like the video helped her a little bit. get so for real with the sound effects right now.
Set up again, and I'll shoot one more. And it turned out to be this really heartbreaking story. One of the most powerful on my channel, I would say. And I edited it that night, and I put it up on Christmas Day. I wasn't going to put anything on Christmas Day because my content is so dark. I just figured it wasn't appropriate. But her story was certainly dark, but it was kind of like, I don't know, beautiful at the same time. So I put it up on Christmas Day, the morning, and it initially got a really strong reaction. People were heartbroken over her story. And then she calls me back like 4 or 5 days later and says, can you take it down? My family's giving me a hard time. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I deleted her video, even though it was great. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, she calls me up and says, you know what? Forget my family. My family's never done anything for me. They've never been there for me. Put the video back up. Just use my street name. Because originally I posted the video with her real name, which is Kiera. And she said use my street name, which is Kelly. So I put it up the second time with Kelly. And I got to know this girl by then. I saw that, you know, she was working Figueroa Street, which is a street in Los Angeles where all the prostitutes, I mean, like, unbelievable amount of prostitution going on that street. You know, so she has the arrest records. You know, all the girls down there know her. So there's no doubt that she was a prostitute.
This Washington Post article is where I learned that the Soft White Underbelly channel only had like 3,000 subscribers at the time this original Kelly interview aired, but by February 2020, like 2 months later, after Kelly's first interview was published, Soft White Underbelly had acquired nearly 800,000 total subscribers on the channel. And remember, this was from 3,000 subscribers in December. Now we're 2 months later in February, so it would kind of seem like Kelly sort of single-handedly put Soft White Underbelly and Mark Laita on the map.
He was already on the map.
He's mostly known for his work on the iconic iMac launch photos and for his YouTube channel, Soft White Underbelly. He was reportedly Apple's highest paid photographer at the height of his career. It looks like Mark had set up a variety of separate GoFundMes by that time. The fundraiser description reads, "Donations to the Soft White Underbelly GoFundMe campaign help some of the people who appear on the Soft White Underbelly YouTube channel as well as help support the channel." And that wasn't the only GoFundMe link that Mark had advertised around that same time. And it wouldn't be the last. Mark also linked a GoFundMe in the description box of Amanda's first interview.
I want to
which
know
had
how,
aired about a year
I know it's like no one's in here, so it kind of sucks. But I really want to know like other people's opinions on that. Like, because I do think it is a bit sketchy.
Almost immediately, people start clamoring to help Kelly with money, clothes, food, and even places to stay. And it was Kelly's story and this outcry of public support that prompted Mark to start a GoFundMe for Kelly's education. So we discussed all that already. And even though that Kelly video was Mark's first major breakout video, he deleted it for some reason.
And then she calls me back like 4 or 5 days later and says, can you take it down? My family's giving me a hard time. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I deleted her video.
Mark is actually on camera with Kelly, which I hadn't seen a lot of before, but to be fair, I don't really be watching that channel. Anyway.
Girl, you don't really be watching that channel. Let me fucking find out. Let me discover upon. Literally 3 months ago. 9 months ago. 9 months ago. I just think you do be really watching that channel though, for Rizzle. Like, I don't. Also, you saying you don't really watch this channel kind of makes me feel like I shouldn't like find any credibility in this video. Soft White Underbelly's like life coaches. She doesn't really watch that channel. She doesn't really watch that channel a year ago. Diva. Oh yeah, and then there's the exploitation of Bam Margera, and then YouTube sent me this, and you're great, and you're fantastic, and okay, and then Soft White Underbelly, Soft White Underbelly. I don't really be watching it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just hate that. To be fair, I don't really watch the channel. It's like, yes, you do.
On August 24th, 2021, Mark started a company called Soft White Underbelly, LLC, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Interestingly, the same state where Amanda Rabb had tragically lost her life at.
There are 50 states. I just feel like there's a reason why this would be that's not like, I feel like it's so, like, not deep at all.
Now it's October 30th, 2021. Mark would publish an interview with a 23-year-old woman named Azraya, aka Exotic, in what would become one of Mark's most popular videos of all time. Today, this video has acquired more than 19 million views. But in her debut interview, much like Kelly's and Amanda's, Azariah presented
this lady
a
still
long and
talking?
grueling story of her
Yeah.
life. In this video, Azariah says that while she's been making videos with Mark, she would now begin making videos of her own and posting them to her own channel. That same day, March 18th, 2022, Azariah uploaded a second short video to YouTube, this time called Scamming of Mark Laita, wherein Azariah stated that
a lot of people think that I'm conning or scamming Mark.
she said there was a lot more to the story than what Mark publicized on his channel, and she vowed to update her audience on the true story in her coming videos.
Okay.
Azariah would post a few more shorts to her channel, but none of them were related to Mark Laita or any supposed scams.
Shocker.
You were having some, I ain't gonna say issues.
Oh my
but you were
God,
just
is there-
having some complications with the situation with the girl Exotic?
There's that guy.
Let's talk about that a little bit, and let's dive into that.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
don't
Shark
wanna pull
Tank.
anybody Under the bus. Here's what I'll say about that. So helping is not part of my channel. That's not what this channel, Software Underbelly, is all about. But I'm just a sucker / nice guy, whatever you want to call it. Adam would call me a sucker. Somebody else might call me a
No,
nice
he
guy.
ain't gonna call you that.
Whatever. No, whatever.
He's not
But
gonna
I'm
call you
helpful to a lot of these people. Some I've been more helpful to. And what people don't understand, like Azariah, Exotic, got a lot of help. But the reason she got so much help, her video just took off for whatever reason. She's a very pretty girl, right? And her story was interesting.
Okay, so this is not a good pause screen.
But there's something about her video that just took off. People wanting to help her, people wanting to marry her, people wanting to donate money. So I have a GoFundMe, the channel, a general GoFundMe. I don't target it for one person. I'm doing it for the Whitaker family, but that one's separate. But generally, I have a GoFundMe that just collects money, and I tend to spread it out amongst all the people that I interview in different ways. Everybody was donating money and saying, I want this to go to Exotic. And
How much did that generate for her personally?
But $50,000. Channel. YouTube Analytics, the YouTube Studio, which is a great app that YouTube has.
I have it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And they tell you everything you want to know about a video, including the ratio of likes to dislikes.
Mhm.
And generally my videos, if it's a sex offender, it might get 93, 94%. If it's a drug addict, it'll get 95, 96%, 97. If it's a nice, sweeter story, maybe 98. Exotic's first video, got 99.6%. Highest by a long shot of anything I've ever done.
As of today, in the fall of 2020,
Is this bad? He's just talking.
it doesn't seem like Azariah has ever fully laid out what these supposed scams were that Mark
It's almost like there weren't any relating to her. What the fuck
was supposedly
are we
perpetuating.
doing?
And it does make me wonder why. But a few months after she opened that channel and posted those Scam of Mark Laita videos, in September 2022, Mark sat in front of the camera on his channel to make a major channel announcement in like a 2.5 minute long video. He was basically whining that like the month earlier in August, YouTube had changed its advertiser friendly guidelines or whatever and demonetized like 2/3 of his videos or something. He was whining about money and the direction of the channel and whatever, which I mean,
Girl.
on the one hand, like, he gets on my nerves and I kind of feel like boohoo, get over it because I don't really like his content. But on the other hand, I would be remiss
Girl, you be watching his content.
not to mention that is a frightening and scary situation to find yourself in whenever you've relied upon YouTube making certain decisions about your videos and then, I don't know, I'm gonna just call that one karma. I don't know.
For what? He's going to start a GoFundMe. Tell me he's not. He will. He'll start a GoFundMe and take your bingo money.
His first breakout stars, Amanda and Kelly, were advertised in the titles of their videos as prostitutes,
Because they were?
which have now acquired more than 20 million total views in all the dozens, if not hundreds, of references Mark had previously made to pimps and his association with self-proclaimed pimps.
I was getting phone calls from pimps and prostitutes for months, every morning.
You make the money and you bring me all of it.
Yeah, these are my girls right here.
This guy is such a joke. Like, I cannot.
We always used to kind of joke about it, like, oh, we could do this to get some money.
I remember that guy. Yes.
Don't say it out loud. I don't want to incriminate myself
Shut
further.
the fuck up talking to me, nigga.
Nigga, you incriminated yourself. Well, you what else off on Underbelly with two dusty
but I
ass
incriminate
bitches.
him. Who you calling a bitch,
though?
I'm calling you a bitch.
I brush my teeth to this shit.
What do you want to know?
You say you be out on you be out on Figueroa late at night. Have you ever paid one of them out there for sex?
No, I've not.
Never paid for sex,
He said no.
not one time. Never, not one time out on Figueroa.
Never.
What? Whoa. He said he's never paid for sex on Skid Row. Hang him. Oh my God. What if he's been paid? That is the question. That isn't asked enough. That's why I'm watching this video.
No, I mean, I look like it because I'm picking girls up on the street and I'm driving them away and I bring them over here. And there's no bed here. But
Do you see this editing? Do you? Can we both just agree this is goofy? As hell. You, BJ, did this.
But I bring them back, and I don't know what that looks like, but I know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is, but ain't it always what it looks like? Ain't that what they care about? It's always what it looks like. Shit.
That's how Sharp is. I got, like, away from alcohol. What was it? It was 2023. May, June. I quit abusing alcohol. And then this premiered on September 29th. And, like, there's me just watching this, like, sober going, oh, wow. I really wish I could talk about this. But I've dismantled everything in my life as far as social media is concerned. And, yeah. That's what a timeline looks like, BJ. That's what she said.
Somehow managing to also find her location and track her down on the streets of Skid Row.
How you doing, Mark? How are you? Kids, you're in Hollywood.
Somehow find them. Look at them.
We're gonna have to get into the whole Rebecca story in another video. Because to be honest, it's like a whole rabbit hole in and of itself.
Let me in. Open it. Unlock the car, babe. Mark, I forgot Virginia that's it.
I'm sorry?
I'll be your beard. You want Virginia that's it. I think it's for the couple of Skid Row. You know?
You're talking so fast, I can barely understand
I
you.
think for the couple of Skid Row, you're the sugar daddy on the
I am a sugar daddy. I am a sugar daddy.
Oh my God, you know what you're doing here. After Rebecca says something weird, because Rebecca says weird things all the time. Like, do you see what you're doing?
Rebecca has caused quite the uproar herself on Soft White Underbelly, on Mark Laita's channel. Later on, we're going to talk about it later. He's going to talk about this Ain't a Helping channel. And I don't know what he's doing with all these hotel rooms and bringing her to buy her outfits.
What the fuck? Like, okay, so this is what I think is gross. He literally said on, like, the no jumper thing that sometimes, like, he's a pushover and, like, you know, we'll try and help. And are you you know what you're doing. You are trying to insinuate that he's, like, sexually abusing. Or I would say if they're on drugs or intoxicated or whatever, that's not consensual. But you're using your power to have sex with very vulnerable people. That's like literally what you are insinuating. That's like that's like the meta message. That's what you're trying to say. But you don't have the balls to communicate it.
And you know,
you're just gonna.
I do all this stuff behind the scenes.
I don't know.
It's like, okay, well, why didn't you just bring Rebecca dress shopping behind the scenes? Why didn't you just get Rebecca the hotel behind the scenes? Y'all gonna see.
Because then you'll ask questions about that too. You fucking would. Why didn't you do it behind the scenes? Because he can't do anything right. If he did it in front of your face, that would be wrong. If he does stuff behind the scenes, that's wrong.
On September 16th, 2023, Mark updated his Soft White Underbelly audience on his latest creative project in a video entitled SWU Channel Update and Interview September 2023. In this video, as he does from time to time, Mark sat in front of the camera instead of behind to update his audience on the direction of his channel. He announced that he will be selling yet another coffee table style picture book, this time entitled Soft White Underbelly. And he would be selling it for $125, and thankfully for us, it'll be available in time for the holidays. It is telling to see who he included on the front cover of his latest work.
That's how book covers work, ma'am. Ma'am. That's how book covers work. Like, do you want it to sell? She's judging the book by its cover, literally. Literally.
Kelly. Bottom right corner, Amanda.
Bottom right corner, Amanda.
Dead center, Exotic.
Dead center, Exotic.
First column, fourth row, Rebecca. I'm
not trying to glaze him or his work or Soft White Underbelly. And I'm not trying to excuse any exploitive practice. But what I'm saying is that it's interesting.
There's a lot of shit that I do behind the scenes that nobody ever sees.
And God forbid you do things behind the scenes.
Because it's not a helping channel. I'm just trying to create awareness of what is going on in our country.
I'm not glazing Mark.
And these videos open up, I think, a lot of people's eyes to what's really going on.
But that simply cannot be reconciled with those many GoFundMe fundraisers. Mark Laita himself has organized numerous fundraisers and enlisted public support for
I'm curious, why do you think that he has done public, like multiple GoFundMes? Like, if it's all going to the same cause? Because I do find that cause for, like, suspicion a little. Like, it's just weird. What is the goal here?
Down Rebecca and hauling her back in for interviews under the guise that he's supposedly helping her somehow. After raising what appears to me to be at least $250,000 from the public for the specific purpose of helping subjects featured on his channel. Now, all of a sudden, Mark ain't helping people. I don't know.
The portrayal, all of it, it all just feels skeevy. I wish I could shotgun 4 Cutwaters and scream at my computer. Yes.
Kind of just don't add up to me. But this is all really just my speculation and opinion. I mean, what do I really know?
Yeah, really, what do you know? Genuinely, authentically? Actually, can you please let us know? We're 47 minutes and 41 seconds into this video. Can you please tell us one damn thing you actually know?
Money can't help but remember Amanda and Kelly and Rebecca and Azariah.
Stop with the vocal thing. Is it vocal fry here? I can't help but forget the stories of Amanda and Rebecca.
I don't really know what all of this means.
Me neither. Please donate to the General Legal Fund in the description box below. All funds go to defend myself against any current or future frivolous litigation arising from my coverage of these stories and my search for the truth. Facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. K bye, heart. Okay, so I'm really glad. I feel very, very satisfied with finally venting about this. Please donate to BJ's GoFundMe for just future purposes. Also, her Cash App and her Venmo, I think, was in there. And, yep. Not a helping chant. What the fuck was that? What? Okay. Bye.